What's up everyone? I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today. I'm here, which that has to count for something, right? Like, holy shit, I'm filming a video and hopefully I also edit it, because let me be honest, like there has been quite a few videos in the last few months that are just like lost in the ether of between my camera and my computer. Like they've just not been edited. It's like the time is up for them. They're just gone now, which is frustrating to me. But I'm here today with a fucking end of the year video. I'm going to be talking about the 10 books I picked out at the beginning of the year. I picked these books out because I thought that they were going to be fucking great. I thought that I would fucking love them. I thought that they would be like some of my favorite books of the year. And some of them were really good and some of them weren't, but that's just like how it always is, right? I've never picked like all bangers. And that's okay. I don't expect it to happen that way, but or do I? I really don't. Like, I know even if I think I'm going to like it, there's a chance that I won't. Because that's just how it fucking is, right? So, first up on this pile is a book that I didn't love. This is Conqueror Worms by Brian Keene, and I picked this out because I have had, you know, fairly good experiences with his work. I like him as an author. And this is like the one that everyone says, like, if you're gonna pick up Keene, you have to pick up this one. This one is so good. But I heavily fucking disagree with that. And nothing personal to those of you who fucking love this book. I'm so glad that you loved this and that you didn't feel like you wasted your time like me. But this book was not great. The premise of this is that it starts to rain and rain and rain and rain and rain on Earth, and it floods. And then these giant worms like pop out of the earth, you know, because it's a rainy, floody day or period of time. It's like many days, months, maybe years. And our main character here is like this grumpy ass old man. And I feel like he's just a caricature really in this book. And he's not a fun person to be spending so much time with. At some point, they flip it up and there's like a really big chunk of this book that's like from a different POV. And I didn't like either of the people we follow in this. I really didn't care about anything that was happening in this book. I found it to be long and boring and not very exciting. So, womp womp. Conqueror Worms was not one of my favorite books of the year. Then I had on this list The Nightly Disease by Max Booth III. This is my third Booth and I've liked them all. I don't think this one was like one of my very favorites of the year, but it's one that I really liked. I just love his weird fucking self. I just think he's so weird and funny. So this is like the most Max Booth feeling of the Max Booth books that I've read. Like, this feels like he's telling a story about himself, and it kind of, I think, probably is a little bit, because this is about like the night clerk at a hotel, and I know that that's something that he has experience with. However, I hope for Max's sake that like the events in this story didn't actually happen to him, because this gets very fucking weird. I don't even know what to tell you. The night clerk here, Isaac, he just really gets himself into a series of pickles that he can't easily extract himself from, and he's kind of a weirdo. He is a night creature and he does strange things, and it's like this hotel is feeding off of him almost. Like he gives all of his energy into his little energy into, you know, taking care of this hotel and keeping things on track, and it's thankless and sucks the life out of him, but he does it anyways, because what else is he going to do? It's just a very weird book. A little slow going at times, but I ended up really liking it. If you've read and liked Max Booth's other stuff, I don't see why you wouldn't like this, because it's just like the most Max Boothiest of his books, I think. It was a weird one. Then I put this on my list. I don't even fucking know why. When I'm thinking about it now, when I'm thinking back on it, this is Fable by Adrienne Young, and this is like a YA fantasy book, and I can't even remember why this is here, because it's been a long time since I've enjoyed this type of story, and this one was no different. This is about a young girl named Fable, right? That's her name. And her father's like a infamous pirate, and she's grown up doing these piratey things, but at some point her mother dies and her father leaves her on this like, it's kind of like a pirate rest stop island. Like, this is just where like a lot of people stop. There's a lot of trading and things like that, and basically she has to work her way into earning like a ride on a ship off of this island, and it takes her a very long time, and I don't know why it takes so long, but it does. And it's just like about her trying to get back to her dad, and kind of falling into this other crew, and it just wasn't the book for me. It just wasn't the book for me. I didn't think it was very interesting, and I mean, there are some really great YA books out there. So, I don't know, I guess I was just taking a chance on this one, and it didn't fucking work out. But like, I don't know why I put this on this list. Not because I feel like, I don't know. It's just like, this is not the story that this is not the type of story that I like. So why would I think that this would be one of my favorites? I don't know, maybe just some variety, but yeah, this was not for me. I think this is like a duology, and I'm definitely not continuing on with this. I don't even know if I'm going to keep this book, because why would I? But here it is for now, I guess. That's Fable. All right. Next book on my list I didn't read. This is If I Can't Have You by Gregg Olsen and Rebecca Morris. I feel like I've talked about this a lot lately because I have been anticipating reading it. I've put it on, you know, on my list of books to read in months in the past, and I just haven't gotten there, but this is one that I'm still very interested in, and I think I would really like it because this is a true crime case that I'm super curious about and really saddened by. It's one of those ones where it's like, if I could choose only one crime to solve, which would it be? And it would probably be the, you know, assumed murder of Susan Powell, because she disappeared and she's never been found again. And the crime doesn't fucking stop there. It's a horribly, terribly tragic crime committed by somebody who's just like a fucking sniveling weasel. And it's just so fucking sad. If you haven't heard about Susan Powell, she seemed like just a really fucking nice person who was trying to make her marriage and her life work. She loved her kids and things like that. And it was just snuffed out by somebody who didn't deserve any part of her life. And unfortunately, she, you know, hitched her trailer onto a person who fucking sucked. And it makes me so frustrated. So yeah, this is If I Can't Have You. I will eventually read this. I'm hoping, you know, within the next few months maybe, but reading's been hard lately, so who knows. But yeah, this story, I really wish I had gotten to it, but it'll be okay. It'll be here for when I do. Also, The Three by Sarah Lotz. This I ended up DNFing. I got maybe 80, 100 something pages into it, and I just wasn't digging it, you know? And this is a story about, I think, 4 separate plane crashes across the globe, but they all happen at the same time, and 3 of those planes, there are survivors who are children. Collectively, they're called the Three, and this jumped so much. Every chapter is a different point of view, and in the beginning it was very hard. I mean, to the point where I didn't know who was who and how these people were connected to the plane accident or to the survivors, or I just couldn't remember. I couldn't keep it straight. It was hard, and it just wasn't interesting enough to keep me going in the beginning, and like I just can't hang with that stuff anymore. I have a finite amount of time. I have a finite amount, an even more finite amount of time that I can spend reading books, so I am just absolutely not going to waste my time with stuff like this anymore. Sorry, Sarah Lotz. This sucks. I wish I liked your book. I mean, I didn't like the book, but I'm not saying that the book sucked. Just that it sucks that I thought I would like it and I didn't. But what can you fucking do? Next one on my list was a fucking 5-star read. This is The Rise and the Fall of the Dinosaurs, A New History of a Lost World by Steve... Oh gosh, I knew at one point how to say it. I think it's Brusatte. This is a nonfiction book about dinosaurs, and I fucking love dinosaurs so much. I love watching shit about them, and I love reading shit about them. I just never grew out of my fucking dinosaur phase, and I'm so excited that there are also other adults who still like this shit and are writing books like this, because this was so interesting. This is about like Steve Brusatte, and it's like a history of what happened, and through this story it's interspersed with kind of like people he's talked to and experience he's had, and it was just a really great book. There are fabulous pictures in it if you are interested in picking this up and are able to find a physical copy of it. It's just so fucking cool. It's just so cool. He does do some name dropping, which is, I don't know, might get on someone's nerves, but I didn't really care. I don't care. Like, he's excited about meeting these people. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it? So yeah, this was a great book, and I definitely recommend this. If you like nonfiction, if you're looking to like branch out in the nonfiction you read, if you like the history of the world kind of shit, if you like dinosaurs, it was a great read. Next on my list is The Deep by Alma Katsu. This is kind of a, what do I like to call this? It's like a alternate history, that's what I'm thinking of, about the story of the Titanic and possibly why, supernaturally, the Titanic might have sank. And what do I remember about this? I remember that we're mostly following this young woman, and I don't know. See, that's how little I really cared about this book. Unfortunately, I should have looked up what I fucking said about this, but there's this woman who before had worked on another ship where there had been an accident, and now she is like back on here again, and I don't know, there's a history of this man she had fallen in love with, and there's like the death of a child, and all these things come together, and you know that there's possibly something supernatural happening here on the Titanic. But I just thought that this was so slow going, and I think it says a lot that I just really can't remember almost any of the details of this story. It just didn't stick with me because I found it uninteresting. And sometimes that just can't be helped, but I was expecting to like this more because I read her book, The Hunger, which is also like an alternate history take on what happened to the Donner Party. And so like, I thought, why not? Why wouldn't I like this? And I just didn't. It didn't have the same feel that The Hunger did. The like desperate spookiness. This one was a lot less spooky, I think, than The Hunger. And I don't know, it's just kind of boring. I didn't really like it. Don't tell Alma I said that. I also predicted that maybe Nightbitch by Rachel Yoder would be a book that I really fucking loved. And I did like this, but it wasn't a 5-star read. There were a couple things that bother me about this, but this is about this young mother, or she's not super young, but she is the mother of a young child, I should say. And she is starting to think that she's turning into like a werebeast, like some sort of were-dog. And she's having these weird episodes, and you're really not sure the entire book if she's kind of losing it or what, because she has a stressful life. Being a mom is fucking hard, and she's like a stay-at-home mom. She's dealing with like problems with her identity just in general, and it's like I can fucking empathize with that. And you're really not sure if these things that are happening to her are real, or if it's some sort of mental illness, or if she's imagining things or reading into things too much. But it was a good book. There was a part, there was some animal death in here that was really fucking hard to read, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that part, of course. It was rough. And also, the way that this is written, there's like no quotation marks and things like that. It's just kind of stream of consciousness. Like everything is coming from like the main character in this. And I don't think we ever get her name. They just eventually end up referring to her as Nightbitch. And so you get just Nightbitch's stream of consciousness in this, which did make it a little bit hard to read sometimes because I'm having to go back and clarify in my head sometimes who is speaking and things like that, which it just really throws off my fucking vibe, you know what I mean? Like my pacing, it's like all of a sudden I get caught up, like I trip and I have to go back, and I kind of fucking hate when that happens. Like I also have that problem when I can't pronounce something correctly, and it's like I just repeat it over and over in my head, even if I do eventually figure out how to pronounce it. Like what was that fucking word in Black Mouth by Ronald Malfi, which is a fucking fabulous book. It was prestidigitator, I think is the word. And like I have to say it. I can't just like read it without pronouncing it because I'm one of those fucking people, and it was horribly annoying. But that book was so good. And you know what? Nightbitch was good too. Oh my god. I think we have 2 5-star books here left. I'm ending on a good note. This I picked. This is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. I can't remember why I put this on this list. I think I was just, you know, trying to make things a little, trying to make this a little bit of a variety pack. And so this is like a dystopian book that takes place in Japan, and the people in this book live on this island, and they slowly start to forget things. But it's like they know that this is happening. They're aware of it. And if something is forgotten, it's like you have to completely destroy it, or the memory police are gonna come and fucking get you. And there are some people who don't forget these things. And, you know, they have to keep it a secret because they get taken away by the memory police and no one knows what happens to them. And we're following a young author who, her mother had been taken by the memory police when she was young, and her father is dead now, so she's living by herself. She realizes that her editor is somebody who does not forget things, and she takes it upon herself to help him. And she does this in a very interesting way. In this book, it's just so good. It's a little slower going, but it's very beautiful, and there are these parts. I think what I liked most about this, and what, like, when I think about this book, I always think about this weird feeling that I had, and it was like, things were not so mellow. I mean, there is a sense of dread throughout this whole book, but it's like, things are, the way this writing is just really nice, and then it would build up to like these really, really fucking intense parts, and it would like make my heart race. I think just because so much of this book was more mellow, I guess. I don't know. I keep saying that, but I don't know if that's exactly what I mean. It's just, I don't know. The way this is written was really interesting, and I really like this. The end especially, it's like, holy fuck, this is a book with a bleak ending, and it was great. Oh, this was great. It was such a great book. Last on my list is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This was another fucking 5-star read. This book is so strange, and it has such great artwork, and it's just like, you know, it's Junji Ito, so those things are words that are used to describe him and his writing, right? But this is about this small town in Japan where It starts out with one person noticing this spiral pattern and they become obsessed with it. And this obsession like spreads to other people. And then it's like more things start becoming spirally. And then more people are noticing these spirals. And it's like this weird infection of becoming, I have a hair. It's this weird infection almost of becoming aware of these spirals, and it leads people to do strange things. It leads the world around them to do strange things. And boy, this is another one that's just like so fucking weird. His writing is so fucking weird. I don't know where this guy, he just has one of the greatest imaginations alive on this fucking earth right now. But those are the 10 books I picked out this year that I thought maybe these would be my favorite books of the year. And I think there were 3 out of 10. You know what? It's not great, but I like doing this anyways because it is always interesting to see my thoughts on these things after, I mean, for myself at least. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's interesting. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I will see you all later. Goodbye.